G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Super Rugby round 14. Crusaders versus the Fijian Drua. Friday afternoon. Man, you know, sometimes in rugby, one of the worst experiences you can have as a team, as a player, is to play the Crusaders in a cold, wet Friday afternoon in the dark at Christchurch. This is one of those things where, yeah, you just have to not feel too bad about yourself afterwards. The Fijian Drua really fronted up this game, unlike the game that they lost to the Hurricanes, where I felt the team kind of just gave up. After a while, the Fijians did not give up this game. They were under the pump for the entire duration, but they fought as hard as they possibly could. And still, a lot of small improvements from the Drua that is good to look at. The lineouts definitely hugely improved from their, really lackluster, like unworkable lineout only like 3 or 4 weeks ago, right? So the lineout has significantly improved. They're more defense, much better. The Crusaders is one of those teams that is world famous for more tries, and there's not a single more try by the Crusaders this game. So the Drua did really well in defending that and scrummaging as well. The Fijians held the scrum up. The Crusaders has been known to have one of the strongest scrums in the competition. Not as dominant as they were last year, I felt, but still one of the strongest scrums, and Fijians held up. So all these set piece improvements from the Fijians, it's something that you should not just scoff at. Any team in the world, even if it's, the best team in the world from South Africa, best teams in the world from Europe, going to Christchurch, a bit wet condition, dark, cold, 5 degrees in New Zealand, it's always a really tough experience. So this was also, and then the Crusaders, there was no like soft tries. The Crusaders really had to work to pretty much get all of their tries. One of the things the Crusaders did really well this game is utilizing the space out wide. Every try they scored, I'm pretty sure every try they scored this game was a very clear strategy of just spreading the ball towards one side, exhaust every inch on one end, and then quick ball back to the other end to utilize the open wide space for their players to go in. So it's just, like it's the same trick again and again by the Crusaders. Nothing too fancy. And just, eventually, after you pound the Endurance try line for like 11 phases, space is going to open up out wide sooner or later. And Crusaders, one of the best teams in the world at utilizing that space, smooth handling, good execution, just end up in good tries. So let's have a look at some of the stats from this game. The stats looked a lot worse in the second half than the first half. At halftime, despite the Crusaders up 4 tries to 0, in terms of run meters, it was actually really close. The Endurers actually really put a lot of effort in the first half and looked threatening, but the Crusaders' defense was exceptionally well. And I felt like Crusaders, having Scott Barrett back in the team, he was playing on blindside flanker, really added that stability in their defense, to be really frank. Him, Blackadder, working at the breakdowns, really gave a lot of good platform set up for the Crusaders side. So the defense was really good by the Crusaders. Endurance was not able to crack the gang line, the try line, despite having 352 run meters at halftime. And the Crusaders was only 375 run meters, only 23 run meters ahead, despite scoring 4 tries. So the Fijians was not like bad. The Crusaders were just really much more clinical, much more better at defense, and the Endurance was just, a little bit rusty in some of those handling to get themselves over the line. I mean, it is difficult. This Crusader side, we've mentioned before, basically half the All Blacks. Basically it's like playing the All Blacks bench against your local club from down the street, right? Like it's quite a big difference in terms of the players' quality there. The what do you call it? Turnover count at halftime, 5-7. Obviously at halftime the run meters are pretty close. Full time Crusaders 777. to 597 to the Fijians, and Crusaders really just ballooned way more opportunity in the second half. You can see the Fijians was getting worn out. The fatigue starts to kick in, and Crusaders was really able to put a lot more squeeze on in the second half. The tackle count at half time. Turnovers conceded at halftime, 5-7. So second half, the turnovers really ballooned for the Fijians as well. 16 turnovers to the Crusaders, 11. The tackle count at halftime was 89-65. 8 missed tackles for the Crusaders, 11 for the Fijians. So the Fijians' tackle count was really good at halftime. And second half, that just really got out of hand a bit. 31 missed tackles out of 149 tackles made. Crusaders still maintain that percentage. 143 tackles made, 16 missed tackles. And that pressure really built in the second half against the Crusaders. So the Crusaders had a new number 10 today. What's his name? Has a new 10 to play instead of Moonga. What's his name? Let's get his name up. Fergus Burke. He was actually really good. I thought he was slotted all of his penalty kicks. Shifted the ball when he needed to, didn't make any mistakes. Kicking game was okay, nothing too crazy, and just did all the basics, tick all the boxes. Quite nice there for the Crusaders to have him at a 10 position. Rocks lost, as you can see. Fijians really got beaten in the breakdown quite a bit, and this is, I thought, Scott Barrett and Ethan Blackadder working that breakdown was really instrumental for the Crusaders. Lineouts, like I mentioned, pretty close. 2 lineouts lost, both teams. 14 lineouts for Crusaders, 7 for the Fijians. Much better improvement by the Fijians once again, especially in that Maul defense. No more tries from the Crusaders this match. And then eventually the penalty count really skyrocketed in the second half for the Fijians. At halftime, the penalty count was only 3 apiece. Both teams had 3. Second half, the Fijians conceded 9 penalties to the Crusaders 3. And as a result of all the penalties piling up, they were given a yellow card for that as well. So yeah, that really didn't help the Fijian Drua. But overall, this is what happens. You play Christchurch. The Crusaders was able to just utilize the space out wide again and again and again to score all of their tries. So first try, a minute into the game, Whainga Nuku, Crusaders, gets inside the Fijian half, start pounding the try line. And I think just 5-6 phases later, Whainga Nuku they just exhausted the one end, spur the ball out wide. Whainga Nuku 1-on-1, too close to the try line, too much space to work with. Goes in for the first try for the Crusaders. 15 minutes into the game. After this try was scored, Fijian actually had an opportunity to kick for 3. I felt like they should have gone for a try because whilst they were under a lot of pressure, I thought 3 points was, it was not going to be enough in any team to beat the Crusaders. But I thought, anyway, taking the 3, 7 minutes in for the Fijian Drua, 7 points to 3. 14 minutes into the game, the Crusaders goes in for their second try. Once again, they spread the ball out wide to the right side wing. I think it was, what's his name? Several Reese did a bit of magic, bit of a good offloading, drawn a lot of Fijian defenders to the right wing, and then they spread the ball out wide. Christie was out wide, gets the ball, crashes over for the second try for the Crusaders. And then 27 minutes into the game, Sam Whitelock, again, Crusaders was just pounding the try line. Just really quick ball again and again and again. And then it's just Whitelock was in center field. He gets a really nice runs, a really nice inside ball. He gets a short ball, just crashes in. He's really big. He gets tackled a bit short, reaches out for the third try for the Crusaders. 36 minutes just before halftime. Once again, Whainga Nuku this is kind of like the opposite of the first try. Whainga Nuku gets the ball on the left wing. He did some magic. It looked like he got really close, got pretty close to the sideline as well. And then he kind of gets the ball out. The ball just, Crusaders gets the ball, spread the ball out wide to the other end. And this time, Severies set up, what's on the other end, gets the ball, goes in, untouched, wide open space to the other side. So Crusaders, 4 tries in the first half to Fijian Drua's 1 penalty conversion. Second half starts 6 minutes into the second half. Again, Crusaders, patience, good handling, good just building phases. 11 short ball phases later, Crash ball, crash ball, crash ball. Burke eventually gets in for the very simple, basic rugby first try in the second half, 46 minutes into the game. On the 52nd minute, Whainga Anuku looked like he almost set up a try for the Crusaders. It was a deliberate knock on, but the referee, so basically Whainga Anuku was on the wing. He had a one player out wide. He tried to flick the pass to the player out wide. It was knocked out of the hand by the Fijian Drua player, and it looked like there could have been a yellow card or penalty try, but no. Referee says they were putting advantage. Says no advantage. Goes back to the advantage. Goes back for the penalty rather, and then they just go for a 5-meter line out. Ball comes out. Quick ball spread out wide. Nice little loop behind, and just good hands to save a Reese on the wing. Goes in for the try. Yeah, just like that. And then after this, the last 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, Fijian Drua really starting to feel the pump, feeling under the pressure. There was a lot of penalties starts getting thrown away, and Crusaders were just able to easily camp outside inside the Crusaders half with these penalties. On the 62nd minute, again, 12 phases, Crusaders pounded the Fijian try line. Whainga Anuku gets the ball. Not Fanuku. Funaki gets the ball. He throws a nice wide card pass to George Bridge after all the Fijian defense has been just drawn in to defend the try line from the crash ball. Just quick ball out wide. George Bridge gets the ball in the wing, goes in for Crusaders. What number is this now? 7th try. On the 70th minute, just before this, the Fijian gets a yellow card for repeated penalties. On the 70th minute, the Crusaders had a penalty advantage again. Instead of going for the line out, they just take a quick tap, spread the ball out wide. Yeah, Fijians was caught off guard. Brendan Enor was on in outside center position, runs in. One of the Fijian players was just scrambling to get across to defend him. He goes over the try line he still had a player out wide, so this was a guaranteed try basically. On the 70th minute, finally on the 74th minute, Crusaders once again just utilizing the space, both ends of the field. They utilize one end of the field. A lot of players just piling in to try to crash over the ball through. Fijians really getting sucked into that short space. And then the Crusaders gets the ball out, spreads it out wide. Christie gets the ball on the wing, dots the ball down for the 9th try for the Crusaders. Final score, 61.3. I don't think the Endurers should be ashamed of this game. It's good to just focus on the things that you have improved on, which is your set piece, your lineouts, which is quite good. And just, physicality the Fijians did bring and was able to front up a lot of good hard tackling. And Crusaders, you're playing against basically the All Blacks reserves. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It is just one of those things where everything is against you in New Zealand against the best club in the world. Yeah, it just happens. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts of this game if you watched it. Thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys a bit later for more reviews. And cheers.